If you work a 9 to 5 or longer, you probably think fitness is impossible. Fitness influencers that are still in high school or college, or they do fitness full time for their job, sometimes can't understand how draining corporate really can be and how derailing it can be for your fitness goals. I currently work a 50-hour plus a week corporate sales job, and I personally train on the side. And here is my exact strategy I give to my busy corporate clients. Here's exactly how I would structure your workouts, diets, routines to get lean and strong while climbing the corporate ladder. This applies to men and women. I'm going to discuss how to get bigger for men or how to slim down for men, and for my ladies, how to get the magical word toned. Before I get into this, I want to say this is not about being perfect. You're not going to be perfect in the corporate life. That's just how it is. This is about having a repeatable template that you can apply to whatever the day throws at you. One more thing I want to say before we get into this is taking care of your health, like we are about to discuss, should be your number one priority over work. And I say this because when you really start to take care of your health, you start to look better, feel better, you have more confidence, you actually become a more efficient, more alert, more intelligent employee, and just overall a higher performer than when you were prioritizing your work. Fitness actually makes you more money indirectly, and that's why we work at the end of the day, right? So without further ado, let's get right into this. First, this applies to men and women. Doesn't matter what your goal is, you need to be weight training. The number one weight training split that I recommend to, I don't care if you've been working out for 10 years or 10 days, I recommend a upper lower split 4 days a week. So you're going to do upper lower, rest, upper lower, rest, rest. You're going to hear a lot of fitness influencers say, oh, you need to be working 6 to 7 days out of the week, yada. But in reality, for natural people that are not on any steroids or gear or whatnot, having an ample amount of rest is going to be more beneficial for muscle growth than working out 6 days a week. And this is going to allow you to have more rest days to be able to work more. Now, I know that I can't make a routine for every single viewer that's going to see this video. Everyone has different goals, everyone has different body types, and that's what I do in my coaching. But I know you're just watching this video, so this is how I would go about making your own routine for someone that doesn't even know how to make one. All you have to do is go to ChatGPT, go to any really AI, and put this exact prompt in. Make me a 4-day weight training upper lower split. Focus on the 6 to 8 rep range with a 10 to 12 sets per major muscle group per week. Hit every muscle group 2 times per week. Now, in this part, you can change it up depending on your situation, but either say I have access to a full gym, or I only have access to minimal equipment, or no equipment at all. So let's say usually you have access to a full gym, but you had to fly out somewhere and now you are at a really crappy hotel with 0 equipment. You can just put this prompt in and do a in your room body weight workout whenever. Or you can go to a hotel gym that doesn't have full access, tell ChatGPT what it has, and it can make you a full routine that's still highly effective. Remember, this is about having a template that you can apply to whatever situation you're in. Quick note I want to say about this. I know the ladies watching this are going to say, oh, 6 to 8 rep range, I'm going to get big and bulky. Trust me, this is how you put on muscle to get toned. Because all being toned means is having a little bit of muscle mass and being really lean. I promise you, it takes years and years and years to get big and bulky. You're not going to get big and bulky. Trust me. Now, let's talk about your goals. I know some people want to gain weight. I know some people want to lose weight. If you're looking to gain weight, focus on being in a calorie surplus with easy to prep high protein meals. Rice, beef, eggs, yogurt. These are your 2 priorities. If you're looking to lose weight, prioritize high protein, getting 10 to 12,000 steps in a day, and we'll get into how to do that, and being in a calorie deficit. And lastly, progressive overload in the gym. Strength training specifically. This will help you maintain muscle mass while losing fat. If you don't know what progressive overload means, just try to add half a pound to 1 pound on all your lifts per week, or add a couple more reps. So if you're hitting 6 reps, you work up to 8 reps. That's perfect. That's progressive overload. Now, the next thing, and I believe probably the hardest thing when it comes to fitness in general in any situation, is food, nutrition. A lot of you don't want to hear this, but bulk meal prepping is going to be your best friend. And hear me out on this. When it comes to meal prepping, you need to have one day out of the week, so for me it's Sunday, where you prep all your meals for the week. You need to have the mindset of meal prepping for 1 or 2 hours on your one meal prep day. Sucking it up is going to set up fitness and nutrition to be the easiest thing ever. It's going to make your meals healthy, and more importantly, for my corporate people that work a lot, they're going to be really quick. You can heat something up in 2 minutes and you don't even have to think about it. And that's our goal with all of this. We want to set it up so that you don't have to think, you just do it. And it's really quick. Now, when it comes to meal prepping, you need to focus on quick and simple meals. You should not be meal prepping for over 3 hours, really over 2 hours on your meal prep day. I, for the most part, will prep all my meals for the week, every single meal, in under an hour, maybe an hour and 30. A quick meal prep equals simple. Simple equals consistency, and we all know consistency is the name of the game. On the other hand, when you spend 3+ hours meal prepping, trying to make these extravagant meal preps, it's very time consuming and difficult. Time consuming and difficult equals inconsistency. You're not going to have the motivation to do it. It's pretty easy to commit to 1 hour of work. It's pretty hard to commit to 3 hours of work. So I'll give y'all some examples of my quick meal preps that take me under an hour to make all my meals for the week. Steak, rice, and a couple kiwis. If you have access to a grill, it can literally take you 10 minutes to make 7 steaks, and you just have a microwavable rice bag, and kiwis obviously take no time to prep. You just made 7 meals in 10 minutes that are high protein and a great source of carbs. Next one, this is great if you work from home and you need a quick meal in between calls, eggs and fruit. You can pound 5-6 eggs. That's like 40 grams of protein and another great carb source in fruit, and it tastes great. Just because your meals are quick and simple doesn't mean they have to taste bad. Another one, Greek yogurt with some berries, and you can throw some protein powder in there to make more protein. Do I need to even explain this one? You can do this in under 3 minutes. There's a million different videos out there of quick, simple meal preps. Find what works for you. Make sure they're quick and simple, and just commit to 1 hour once a week to set up all your meals for the week. Last thing I'll say about nutrition and all this is having grab and go items ready are essential for my corporate people. For example, tuna packets, microwavable rice, protein shakes like Core Powers or make your own, beef jerky, fruit, hard-boiled eggs. These are all great items that you can literally just grab it and run out the door and still hit your protein, still get a great source of carbs and fat, and still be consistent with your goals even when you don't have time. Next, I know a lot of you, especially my salespeople, have client dinners and you travel a lot. You get on the plane a lot. Client dinners are where a lot of people throw away their health. They think they need to put on this great show, they need to drink and do all this extra shit. And while you can do that for your clients, that doesn't mean you have to participate with them. So go ahead on the company card, get them a nice pasta dish, get them a nice wine, whatever. But for your meal, you're going to stick to lean proteins, so order a chicken plate or a steak dinner. And your sides are going to be rice, fruit, veggies, whatever. You're going to avoid appetizers like bread, chips and salsa, whatnot. And your drinks, you're just going to stick to a diet soda, sparkling water, or water. I know some of you are hearing this and thinking, oh, but that's not fun, whatever. You're not even going to remember your meal 10 minutes after dinner. So are you really going to throw away your health? Are you really going to throw away your progress for 30 minutes of enjoyment that you're not going to even remember the next day? That doesn't make any sense. Now, I know a lot of you are flying. Meal prepping is really going to be your best friend if you are flying very often. You can take as much food as you want to through TSA. They don't care. So just pack a little cooler of a bulk protein and a bulk carb and a bulk fat. So steak, potatoes, and avocados. I promise you TSA does not care. This is also where having those grab and go meals are essential. So pack protein powder or protein drinks, pack beef jerky, pack some fruit. And to say it one more time, on those client dinners, just stick to the basics. Everyone knows the basics. Now, how do we manage our time in the most effective way possible? Your best friend is going to be a calendar of some sort, like a Google Calendar or Apple Calendar or whatever it may be, because you can set up time blocks. And all you have to do is follow your calendar. Obviously, you're going to have time blocks for calls, meetings, whatnot. But on this same calendar, you need to have time blocks for your workouts, quick meals, and maybe a couple time blocks for walking. I recommend you work out before work or during a lunch break. You can do it after work for some of y'all, but for most, if you schedule your workout block after work, you're going to end up skipping it very often because energy and willpower is at its lowest right after work. Instead, especially if you're cutting, I would schedule low intensity cardio, like a nice walk outside to decompress and get steps in after work, because it doesn't take a lot of willpower to do, and it's actually really enjoyable once you start doing it. Next, if your goal is to lose weight, steps are obviously very important. Use phone calls to get steps in. Just walk around while you're on the phone. Or if you work from home, a great source of steps for you and how you're going to make a lot of progress is just getting a walking pad and just walk while you're working on your computer or on a call. Another easy way to get 30 minutes of cardio sprinkled through your day is just 10-minute walks after every meal. 10 minutes is so easy to commit to. Obviously, it doesn't take a lot of time. And like I said, you can sprinkle in an extra 30 minutes of cardio through your day without even thinking about it. I have another video on my page of systems like this to implement fitness throughout your day. So go check that out if you want to learn more about this. Next is stress and recovery. Sleep is going to be non-negotiable. You need to be getting 8 hours of sleep a day, and this is going to be the biggest factor on changing how you actually feel and the biggest factor on your progress. There's a million videos about how to optimize your room to get the best sleep, but the basics: take some magnesium before you go to bed, make your room really cold, have it really dark, and use a white noise machine if you're in a noisy hotel or whatnot. Now, fitness is a decision. You can either choose to be a lazy corporate victim, or you can take ownership and win every single day. An example of what a day looks like for a lazy corporate victim would be you wake up, you snooze your alarm 3 times. Then once you actually wake up, you go on Instagram, you grab some shitty Starbucks drink that has 500 calories in it. You go eat whatever they brought to work at your desk, like a donut and some bagel. You skip your lunch workout because you didn't time block it and you're just too busy. You crash midday afternoon because you're eating like shit, so you grab a coffee. That coffee's going to ruin your sleep quality because you didn't cut it off early enough. Then you probably have some client dinner, so you're going to go out, have some wine, pasta, bread basket, and a cheesecake for dessert. Then you're especially too tired to train after that, so you go home, watch Netflix, DoorDash something, and then complain, oh, I don't have time, work is too stressful, I'll start next week. Instead, if you implement what I'm talking about here and choose to take ownership over your life, an example of what a day will look like is you wake up on your first alarm when you said you were going to wake up. You hit a quick 20, 30-minute workout in your hotel or in the hotel gym, or you go to an actual gym. After your workout, you would have a meal prepped breakfast like some boiled eggs and Greek yogurt and fruit, and maybe a protein shake. That's a ton of your protein for the day front loaded, so now you don't have to think about it for the rest of the day. You go get a black coffee because it has no calories. During your workday, you walk during your meetings and 10 minutes after every meal, so you easily hit 10K steps in your day. Your lunch will be meal prepped, so you just heat it up in the microwave for 2 minutes. It takes no time. It's delicious, quick, and easy. You grab some of your protein snacks that we talked about. So you have a protein shake with some beef jerky or maybe some cottage cheese bowl that you prepped. And in the evening, when you go to client dinner, you just have steak, fruit, veggies, and a Diet Coke or some sparkling water or some water. After you say goodbye to everyone, you walk for 10 minutes. You're back at your hotel by 9, 10 o'clock, and you get some high quality sleep. This mindset is I create time by planning ahead. I don't need perfect days. I just need repeatable systems. This is all about mindset and consistency. You don't need perfection, you need repeatable systems. You just need to anchor habits around work schedule instead of trying to fight through it. It really is as simple as when can I weight train, when can I get my meals in, and when can I get my steps in. Once you have those three, then it becomes a matter of how consistently can I do this, and how can I put the work in now by planning ahead, doing things ahead of time, to make it easier to be consistent later when my willpower is low, when I just got off of work and I'm tired. And it's just the mindset of taking ownership. I've said it before a million times and I'll say it again. This is not about being perfect. This is about having a repeatable template and being consistent in taking ownership. Implement these habits and watch how your energy, your physique, your performance at work, your self-confidence, and your overall quality of life improves in 6 months. If you like this video, subscribe. And if you have questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. Instagram is link in bio, and I'll see y'all in the next video.